How's it feel then?
It feels like my mom is pulling out my hair.
Is it common to prepare the hairstyle at the home?
No. Usually we go to the hairdresser. But saving the money.
Yeah, that's good. There are so many professional stuff.
Altså ikke meget spise, men ikke nok.
Sige til Amy,
Ja.
så vil jeg sige til hende, at jeg håber, hun får en god dag, selvom det er lidt lortevejr. Men det skal nok gå. Vi skal nok få en dejlig og hyggelig dag og aften. Pretty bad weather, so but we will manage. And skål.
Okay.
Men jeg er altså ikke god til det. Altså.
Når du går op, ikke, så holder du sådan, og så er det sådan.
Ja.
Og så, det er bare sådan, og så drejer du lidt, og så, det er det eneste, du drejer, det er, hvad han bestemmer.
Men det kan jeg ikke finde ud af.
Nej, det skal han finde ud af.
Ja.
Can you teach me? Do you know how to do it?
No, you have to do it.
You are the husband, and now you are in charge of everything. Ja.
Ja.
Okay.
Og han tager sin arm ind under der,
Så på hoften, kan man sige.
ja. Og så går han et skridt frem, og du går et skridt tilbage. Det skal være det samme ben.
Ja.
Og så går I derover. Altså, ligesom sådan her. Jeg kan bedre vise det sådan.
1, 2,
Nå, okay.
okay. I understand.
Ja. Og så kan I dreje rundt, når I kan.
2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Så.
No, I did it wrong.
No.
You have to do with me. So when you're holding me, you have to do like. You have to show like where I'm going. Stand on the phone.
안녕하세요. 에이미와 제이크의 제이크입니다. 지금 덴마크의 교회에 와 있는데요. 오늘이 바로 제 결혼식 날입니다. 가족들은 거리도 있고 해서 힘들어서 못 왔는데 저만 이렇게 있어서 조금 긴장도 되고, 에이미 가족들과 친척분들이 이제 오시는 게 보이네요. 긴장이 많이 됩니다. 안녕하세요. 한덴 커플의
에이미와
제이크입니다. 저희가 드디어 결혼을 하게 되었습니다. 따란.
You have to get closer.
오케이. 결혼을 했는데 그렇게 뭐 달라진 건 없다. I think it's a good start to why we decide to marry.
For me, the reason why I decided to marry you was, of course, because I love you. And also the reason we decided to marry now was because we already knew we want to get married compared to when we are older, and I look old. So anyway, why not marry now?
Your age is 22.
Yeah.
But I guess that your age is a little bit earlier than average age in Denmark
Yeah.
to marry.
Because in the average age to marry in Denmark is 30. The reason why is because usually Danish get kids first and then marry later on.
Why we didn't follow the rule?
Because you're Korean, and for you, you marry first and get kids later.
And also there is another thing we have to mention it, because in the internet and also Denmark government introduced after 24 years old Danish can marry with a foreigner. But I think you can explain what is the fact and how we marry without any conflict.
The Danish system is kind of difficult to understand because it says you can first marry a foreigner when you're 24 years old. I think the foreigner just had to be like over 18, but me as a Danish, I have to be 24. But the thing is that law only applies when you want the foreigner to come to Denmark.
Kind of for supporting the visa.
Yeah, there's a lot of other different reasons, like you mostly have to have a job and you have to have this kind of income. And they're thinking like younger people than 24 mostly are studying still. So I think that's why they said to 24. Because there happened a lot with arranged marriages in Denmark where from foreign countries and just pull them to Denmark and they kind of get a green card to Denmark. The Danish government doesn't like that.
In our case, I have a working visa in Sweden, so don't need to move to Denmark, and we have no plan yet to move to Denmark. So it's not affect on us, so we did marry without any problem. We are waiting accept to marriage status in the Korean government as well.
We sent in our marriage certificate. But the whole system by applying for marriage in Denmark is very hard. So I had to pay almost 2,000 kroner just to ask. It's allowed for us to get married, and I have to send many documents. Like I had to send like our conversations, I had to send pictures of us that showed that we are actually a couple. I think that was quite invasive for me personally, because they don't need that when it's two Danish marrying. They only need that when it's foreigners. I had to send where we are living, what we are planning on to do, how long we think we're gonna last. Like it took me really long to do, and they keep having like, oh, you didn't do this or you didn't do that. It was like they keep finding like trouble. We had arranged from when you send it in, there are 5 days to reply, and if they are missing something, then there will go more time. When they approve the marriage, then you have only 4 months to get married. And that is kind of short time to planning a wedding. That's why we already start planning the wedding.
So you prepare everything to marry?
Yeah, booked everything. And all the decorations, I also prepared everything.
Can you open the how much you spend for marriage?
For the whole marriage, we were 15 people. It was a very small wedding. We came around to 30,000 Danish kroner.
We also got some money from the guest.
Yeah, of course the guests also give us money. Just like in Korea, where you give the money when you attend a wedding. It's just not too usual in Denmark to give money when you attend a wedding. It was our wish to get money. We usually get like coffee machines or plates and silverware, but that we could not really using unless we are together. Bringing it back and forth would be very weird, so we ask for money instead.
I guess in the ceremony in church is kind of free if you pay to the church by tax.
You are automatically in Denmark listed to church. You're paying to church, and I think now that you can choose to not pay to the church anymore through your taxes if you want, but then you are not allowed to go into the churches like for ceremonies. So you're not allowed to having a wedding or anything, but that has to be for both partners. So because you weren't a part of the Danish church, but I was, then we could get married. And another thing is also you have to be connected to that church. You cannot just go into a church you think that is beautiful. They have some specific rules, like they were asking me like, oh, how are you connected to this church? And I have to explain how am I connected. So I have to use, oh, my family is around here, I'm living here, everyone I know has been like married here.
Now we are going to talk about the tradition in marriage.
We have some traditions in Denmark. Is for the bride, it can be like you have to wearing something blue. And so I had an earring that was blue, and I had a band on my leg was also blue. And then we have a very important rule. The groom cannot see the wedding dress before church. So you had to go wait in the church. You can first see me in the church, else we say that it will bring very bad luck.
After church, we went to the wedding hall. That is, I think, the big part. Many tradition things.
The first tradition is all the guests has to arrive before the couple. Then they're greeting the marriage couple. We sit down to eat and everything. If people start taking their silverware, banging on the plates and the glasses, then the groom and the bride have to stand up on their chair and kiss. People start stomping on the ground, and the groom and the bride has to go underneath the table they're sitting at and kiss.
It was a little fun.
Yeah, that is really funny.
Have to kiss in front of everyone. A little weird, but it was fun.
In the middle of the dinner, if the bride or the groom leaves, in that case it was you first to go to toilet, then all the men has to get up and kiss the bride on the cheek. I think it's something to congratulate or something. I don't know completely what it means, but it's a tradition. But then I also have to leave for the toilet. This time it's then just all the girls in the party going up to kissing you.
Yeah. And what else? And we also waiting the rain came.
It's not really a tradition because you cannot really expecting the weather. If it suddenly starts raining, the bride and the groom are in the rain, that means they will make a lot of money. So when it starts raining, we had to go out and get wet.
After I listened about that tradition, I thought it's because in Denmark so many rains come. I guess that story probably want to the couples not feel sad.
Maybe, yeah. So they say the more it rains, the more money you're getting. Last tradition is there has to be a dance for the bride and the groom.
Yeah.
People start in a big circle while the bride and the groom are dancing, and then people are clapping, and they go closer and closer and closer to you until you cannot move anymore, and then people are pulling you away from each other. They should cutting my veil. They also picking up the groom, taking off the shoes and cutting his socks.
What does that mean in that ceremony?
I don't know, but we always do it.
Anyway, we got married, but kind of hard to living together in now because you're not graduate yet in the university.
Yeah, I
But,
still have a couple of months left.
So even we married, we probably keep in long distance until you graduation.
Yes. Okay. Let's say bye. Bye bye.
감사합니다. Thank you for watching.